Right, let me tell you a story. In the Second World War, and this is a story I was told, and I tend to believe that it's right, but if anybody wants to put me right, you know what to do? Get in touch, right? Now, Dunkirk. When the troops left Dunkirk and they got onto the ships and they come back, and it was the biggest evacuation of Allied troops known in the Second World War, they left vehicles, they left ammunition, they left their rifles. Some of them left their clothes and only had underwear on to get off the beach. Now, when they got back home, all these troops, and it was a couple of 100,000, they had to be re-kitted out. But they found out that there was so much ammunition left that they didn't have enough for training. And they come up and they still had to train new recruits in the art of firing a weapon. So they tried to get a weapon that could hit the target, was the same weight as a .303, but didn't fire any rounds. Sounds quite impossible. But the boffins come up with one, and it was called a Swift rifle. I don't know if they called it Swift because they were fast producing it, but it was called a Swift. And I don't know if any of you have seen one, but I'm about to show you. A Swift rifle. Same weight, same mechanism or firing mechanism as the .303. What they've done is, if I pull this pin out at the end, I'll have to eat more spinach. There's a piece that comes out and it's spring-loaded. The firing mechanism is the same as the .303. Cock action, down, in. But the simplicity of it is that when you pull the trigger, nothing will happen. And the reason being is because of that. And what they said is for them or for you to get the rifle in the shoulder in the correct position with the correct pull on it because of the kickback on it, that had to be pushed in, right? So I'll face this way a minute. I'll fetch it up into the aim and I'm pushing that in. I'll do it on the side like that so you can see. I'm pushing it in, and once I push it in, it fires. Again, if I don't do it, it won't fire. Push it in, fires. So that is a way of teaching the troops how to hold a rifle and put it back into the shoulder so you're getting the same feel as if you're firing a round. The mechanism is the same, and it's got a safety catch. It's on the side. Right? The trigger is the same. The action is the same. But the piece that's really interesting is you can take aim and you can hit the target and you can tell where the target is hit. And the reason being is down this end here. There's wires or there's a strong wire going down, and there's like a trident in the end. And when you cock and you fetch everything back and you pull the trigger, out of the end will come the spikes. This is mounted onto 2 legs. I tried doing one. I'm going to try and build one, but apparently there's none in existence. And I've tried everywhere to get one, so I'll get the plans. And what it is legs, 2 poles coming up, and a bar. And the bar that comes from it goes into this piece here. So you're correct length away from the target. You can go up, you can go down, swivel. So you've got the full range of movement with the rifle. Back sight, front sight. So you actually aim. And on this mechanism is, a lot of us old farts will know about it, is wallpaper. And what they had was a piece of paper and it had targets on it. And you had a wheel this side and a wheel that side, and you used to wind it. And as you wind it, the targets would move. And then the sergeant or the sergeant major or whoever would come up and say, group range indication target, fire at will. And if will's not there, they'll fire a dubit. But never mind. The important thing is you're aiming. When you fire it, out of the end, like I say, comes each trident, and it pierces the paper. And by it piercing the paper, which we'll demonstrate in a sec, by piercing the paper, you know where you've aimed and where your round is going to fall. Right? Now, I'll cock it, and if we'll try and do a close-up of the end, and you can see the spikes coming out. Okay? So you'll have to bear with me, because you might have to do it a couple of times, because I'm an oldie. Try and get the camera in a little bit now, and what you're watching is that end there. If you look into it, I'm glad you didn't see that then, because Bill, our lighting manager, he just turned around to me and went, come on, 2 inches. But that is the way that they teach the firing of the weapon. Now, on the side of this one, it's got the Swift training weapon, rifle, 98/1588, and it's got a serial number on the side. I can't make it out, but it's all there. When the army finished using these as a training implement, they were handed off to the RAF. And now you know why the RAF couldn't hit the planes, because they couldn't fire rounds from this weapon. Poor RAF, but never mind. And that is the Swift rifle. Both sides. Not many of these left, because apparently, again, what I was told is because of the end of the war, they didn't need them because they had 303 rifles, they had enough ammunition, and they went into training. And a lot of these, with the boxes, were burnt. But this is the old Swift rifle. I suppose you could say it saved the British Army, because otherwise we couldn't have done the training with the rifle on the ranges. So, any questions? Or if I got the story wrong? Or if I got the story right? If I got it wrong, my name is Bill John. If I got it right, it's Will 71. Okay? Let's hope it's Will 71. Well, thank you for looking in at this. If you want to see this weapon, come to the museum. It's in the armory. And when you go into the armory, it's down the bottom on the left-hand side, and you can see it down there. Okay? Right. Thank you for watching. Keep safe. And the sweets I'm not getting, I hope you enjoy them. Thank you. Bye. If we thought of it, we could have put a piece of paper on the end.
We did think of it, I did tell you. You ignored me.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me.
Mm-hmm.
He might have. I just ignored him anyway. Doesn't matter.
Aye. They came out about that length. Unbelievable.
But whoever...
Stand it up, I'll fire it, but I know, and you can have a look at it yourself. Put it down?
Yep. It does, doesn't it?
Come out quite a distance, doesn't it?
And it's fast.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's two of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
No. It's a trident. A tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get what are you looking at, isn't it? But they came out about that length, yeah.
Well, he called it a trident, so I'm believing the same. He's right. How many is it now? Paper, use a piece of paper, get a piece of paper. Don't look at it like that, take your eye out.
It's not loaded.
Where's your paper? Get a piece of paper.
It's a trident, less one. What?
Is it two it is, isn't it? Two needles or three?
Two.
Two it is, isn't it?
The third one's all now.
Because when you had your camera gun, they said it's a bit close. They weren't far off that lens, I can tell you that.
Yeah?
No, indeed they weren't.
You okay now? All sorted?
Yeah, I'm just going to get a piece of paper.
You're going to test it, yeah?
I'll use this one. I'll let you fire it, right?
Thank you.
And I'll hold the paper at the end.
If you want me to hold the paper, I will hold the paper. I'm not afraid, Avron.
I would be. I'd be very afraid, Bill.
Yeah. What you can remember, targets fall when hit.
When it. Well, I trust that. Could I knock the stand again? Well, Kevin, get it away. I'll become close to the walk today.
Right. There's a way of doing it without mucking about. Just sort of it now. If I put this back in. Sort of everything, didn't I?
Oh, that's when you think of it, and it's simple, man, isn't it, to be honest?
It is. It's just simple. It's effective.
It's a learning thing, isn't it? Let's be honest, eh?
Like I say, I fired this ball. What it was on
Probably if you
ranges.
only had one or two rifles then, and your armour would come along, they'd give them a shot, and then whatever, innit?
Yeah. Well,
I'm okay.
What's your wrist now, bro? You right, Kevin?
Wait a minute. I could try and... Okay. Nice.
oh!
Got him.
Oh,
Are they top and bottom? Yes.
side by side.
Yeah.
Have I?
One indicates you're aiming, and the other one indicates the fall of shot. Going to give this to the forwards this afternoon.
I think they'll need it, I think.
You can use them as a club.
You want to do something? Well, we'll see how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good, interesting, huh? I learned how to make them up here, I learned something.
But you didn't learn how to make a cup of tea.
Do I can't light on it?
Won't stop it now because I'll go and get the rifle.
Yeah. Have a kettle on, John, is it?
You what?
Put the kettle on.
Got a kettle on,
Put the
yeah.
kettle on. Shall I put the kettle on?
Do you think you'll get your arms in it?
You put the kettle on. You were the boss.
Of course we can have a kettle on.
I'm not the boss.
And then he came with it, he had done so we no, I'm going to put the kettle on.
Bill, make a cup of tea, because that bag I won't do it, it's too tight, isn't it?
I tell you what, you could have kettle could have bolt now if you put it on.
They were so tight.
What?
You were so tight.
I'm like a duck's arse, I'm welded.
Wait till ourselves, Bill. Wait
I
till
think I'll pout though, I think.
Pout?
I think I'll pout.
Yeah, you need a pout.
I think
I
I'll
pout with it, Bill.
Yeah, but it wouldn't change the look on your face then.
Oh, 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 oh.